and maybe you're hanging out in a shoebox somewhere and you missed it, the NFL gleefully announced that after a day investigation, it determined the officials, Jeff Lamberth and Trip Sutter, did not ask Tampa Bay wide receiver Mike Evans for his autograph. That was after the Buccaneers lost to the Panthers on Sunday. Both officials were reprimanded, not punished, but reprimanded by the NFL, told knock it off to avoid the appearance of impropriety when interacting with players, coaches, and team staff on game day before and after the festivities take place in the actual game. So let us discuss the question. Do you believe the NFL's explanation for the autograph gate? So I am shaking my head no. I am not a believer. If you want to give me the tinfoil hat, you can give me the tinfoil hat. I'll wear it proudly. I've got Richard Pryor, Greenpeace, and Summer Book Tour. And we'll lock all of these things together, and we are going to make phooey is what we're going to make, because the NFL made phooey is what they did. So number one. We're just simply not believers in what the NFL is presenting here. It does not pass the smell test. It does not. Lamberth and Sutter, the two officials involved here, if you forgot, they handed a piece of paper to Mike Evans, and it looked as though Evans, he definitely wrote something on the piece of paper. The NFL's collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, does not permit NFL officials to get autographs from players, coaches, and other team personnel. Supposedly there's a loophole. If it's for charity, if it's for the children, you can do it. Now, the league, the main reason I'm a skeptic on this is the NFL was very vague with their statement announcing that there's no funny business going on. And it leads me down the garden path to believe there was a perfunctory investigation. There was, all right, did you do it? No, I didn't do it. All right, he said he didn't do it. If he said he didn't do it, he didn't do it. It's like when Keyshawn Johnson was talking years ago about Peyton Manning's wife being a drug mule, which was in a documentary, The Dark Side. And Keyshawn said, if Peyton said he didn't do it, he didn't do it. If he said he didn't do it, it didn't happen. He didn't do it. Yeah, that's essentially what the NFL did. It's what it sounds like, right? Well, because I'll tell you what, when asked for more specifics, did you see what the NFL responded with? You might have missed it. So the NFL gave a very vague statement saying that there was no autograph, whatever. But when asked for specifics, the NFL said, quote, we don't have any further comment. Things that make you go, I wonder what's going on with it. I wonder what that's all about. Right? And what are they hiding? No transparency, very sketchy. If it's just a simple misunderstanding, couldn't you explain that? The NFL sounds like there's an old comedy bit, this comedian, you might not know who he is anymore, Richard Pryor, legend in comedy. And years ago, he was doing a bit on stage in Hollywood, and he told this story in his comedy routine. He said his wife caught him with another woman in bed. And Richard Pryor, during the comedy bit, he denied anything was going on. And he asked his wife, he said, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? That's essentially what the NFL's doing, right? Who are you going to believe? You. I'm talking about you, Joe Public. I'm talking about you. Are you going to believe the video, or are you going to believe the NFL saying, nothing to see here, nothing at all, but we have no further comment? The NFL knows that a certain percentage of their customers are complete morons. They are perpetually gullible. They're easy marks. And their fan base, a high percentage of football fans, will believe whatever they are fed and not ask any questions. Easily manipulated. All right, now, page 2. Since the multi-billion-dollar NFL refused to give a straight answer, they left a fog over the story, and we enter in Buccaneer wide receiver Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans was asked about his take on what happened, and he claimed that he did not sign an autograph for a game official. He said, quote, I was not signing an autograph. I can tell you that. Evans babbling on. I talked to a lot of officials. We're all human beings. He's a nice guy. We were talking about golf. So we're talking about golf. That's all we were talking about. Close quote. Now, Pravda News Service picked up on that, the state-sponsored NFL media that does the dirty work for the league, and they reported that the official was getting Evans' phone number in order to contact him and connect him with a golf pro so he could work on his putting and his driving and get some golf lessons there. The official, according to the Pravda News of the NFL, the official borrowed a paper from another official so he could write down the number. So what do you make of Mike Evans' golf story? That's his alibi, right? Are you buying that? I mean, he said it. Why would he lie, right? There's a lot of people who believe that. To me, it doesn't hold water, and I'll tell you why. Evans is essentially wearing a construction helmet. He's driving the bulldozer. He's clearing the path of debris for the officials. And why wouldn't he do that, right? I mean, Evans is friends with these guys. He said what great human beings that this person is and these officials and all that stuff. Admitted he's a nice guy. And so it's easy to connect the dots that there's a chance Evans concocted the story to help cover for his friend. And golf is played by 95% of professional athletes. So it's a solid alibi. Mike Evans, in this chapter of the book, is a member of Greenpeace, and he's helping to protect the endangered species. He's out on the Serengeti saving a wild zebra who was about to be executed. He's saving the wild zebra, and it's like a back scratcher. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Down the line, Evans can get the benefit of the doubt. Some 50-50 call. The official will look the other way or go in favor of Mike Evans. Now, final point. So how likely are we to find out what really happened? Because the NFL said we have no further comment. Evans threw some vague statement about golf. State-sponsored NFL media said it was involving a golf pro. So you have to be willing to play the waiting game. The answer to this riddle will be given out, Batman, in a number of years. The summer book tour down the line, Secrets of the Shield, when people will use the inside skinny to sell books. Right? And it's just in a book. But based on a minutes-long investigation, I went back and I watched the clip over and over again. It did not look like Evans wrote down a phone number. And let me give you my evidence on this, okay? Let me explain, especially for those of you in the back of the room. So the official flips over the paper. He asked Evans to scribble something down in a specific spot on the paper. So if it was a phone number, why would it matter? It wouldn't matter. You can put the number anywhere you want. But if you've ever dabbled in autographs, you know that an autograph on a piece of paper, you want that thing right in the middle of the little piece of paper. And that would make the most sense why you would want to sign in a specific spot. That way you can take that little piece of paper and get like a jersey, and you can frame the jersey in the shadow box and put the little piece of paper there. But Evans also, he was writing rather quickly. He was in a hurried state as he was autographing. Go frame by frame here. And typically, at least for me, and I don't know about you, but when I'm writing down a number, I go a lot slower. Like most people don't even remember their own number these days because we've all got these smartphones and you don't even need your own number. You're like, I'll just send you my number. I'll send you my contact information. And so he was writing that thing down right away. The official could have easily also reached out to some PR hack for Tampa and been given Mike Evans' contact information and then reached out to him on the down low without anyone ever knowing. This also debunks the other rumor that was planted by some that this was all for charity and it was for some cancer charity and all that. Well, the NFL's like, well, it wasn't really that. Although, they were very vague on what the heck was going on. So I am continuing to double down on conspiracy. There's something else going on. And listen, the NFL's, in many respects, it's like wrestling, right? It's entertainment, it's sports entertainment. And so it's like, we'll look the other way. People get all worked up. Who cares?